Coming up live at 7, Colleges Against Cancer and Siena University are collaborating with the swim and dive team by selling t-shirts and raffle baskets to help raise money for the American Cancer Society. Plus, international programs in the Departments of History and English are offering spring travel courses to Ireland and Japan. And then Stage 3 invites those with or without singing history to their first open mic of the year. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Noah Kime. We begin this evening with a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, an event hosted by the Colleges Against Cancer of Siena. The swim and dive team collaborate with the College Against Cancer of Siena College while facing Rhode Island and Stonehill College, with hopes to raise money and awareness of cancer around the world. The swim and dive team and Colleges Against Cancer of Siena sell t-shirts and raffle baskets for the American Cancer Society. For more, SCTV's Bella Sposato has the story.
Participated in a swim meet fundraiser to raise money for the American Cancer Society. This cause hits close to home for the team as well as many others a part of the Siena community.
This fundraiser means a lot, and it shows us what a privilege it is to be able to get up every day and be healthy for practices and classes, and we're just so blessed to be here and be healthy.
This event helped people come together and help support the swim team and those who have lost their lives or a loved one to cancer.
It feels really good seeing the community support us. We're doing something really special for people who have been affected by cancer, and to see how many people will support this and support us doing this is super good. It feels
The team brought plenty of energy and spirit by cheering on their teammates, competing, and showing how important it is to be able to do what they love while helping others.
I feel like team spirit's really important for an event like this, really like getting energy up, like showing people that like we really care about this, and I feel like our team really does a good job of that to begin with, so I think it'll be really good.
Everyone who took part or attended this event was a big help in raising money for the American Cancer Society, which made the event a huge success, showing how coming together as a team and having extra support from a community is important to have when you are a part of an event like this. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Bella Sposato.
Last Friday night, Siena Stage 3 Club held an open mic night for students to showcase their musical talent. SCTV's Hunter DePace has more.
Stage 3's open mic night was an opportunity for students to grab the mic and sing or play an instrument, no matter their experience. From guitar solos to duets, this open mic night was loaded with spectacular performances. Stage 3 Club President Henry Steinmetz reflected on what makes open mic night a great event for students.
Yeah, the event is pretty great because it's welcome to anyone of all talents. You know, we're obviously not grading people or judging people on their musical talent. It's welcome to everyone, all majors. I'm not a theater major myself. I'm an English major, so it's welcome to everyone and a great time for everyone just to get together and really join in a community and just have a nice, relaxing night free of homework and things like that.
The highlight of the night was the duet performance of Man or Muppet, and I asked one half of that duet, Patrick Lucheski, on why they picked to sing that song.
Two members, Megan and Lara, who was our past president, she always sang that song at every mic night. If there was ever any downtime, she's like, I'm gonna get up and sing it again. So it's kind of to help keep the ball rolling, keep having fun, let people know it's okay to be silly, and you have to come here and perform to be a really good singer. You can come here and perform to just have fun.
And everyone who performed certainly came with that mindset, as open mic night was filled with energy and good times. Stage 3 Club here at Siena has plenty more events like this coming up, and Club President Henry Steinmetz talked about why students should join.
They should join because it's open to everyone. It's a bit of a step down from the main stage in the sense that it's not as much commitment, it's not as much stress, so it's a lot easier to handle when you want to do theater and your classes at the same time.
Stage 3 will continue to put on events like open mic night that are open to all majors and are a good time out with friends. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Hunter DePace.
This week is Commuter Appreciation Week at Siena, and to celebrate, the Commuter Student Association planned many different events in the Quad and the SSU. Yesterday, CSA, as they're known, held a paint and sip in the Maloney Great Room. Students were able to come together and paint some handicrafts, as well as sip on some fruit punch and lemonade and finger foods too. We got to speak with President Milo Zalativ and Treasurer Kabahog in the event CSA is holding this week. Be sure to check out the rest of the events being held all over campus for Commuter Appreciation Week put on by our CSA. Have you ever wanted to study abroad but couldn't commit to a whole year or semester? You may be interested in a travel course. Luckily, Siena has provided 2 opportunities for this spring. On Friday, an information session regarding study abroad opportunities was held. English 208 and History 208 are 2 classes you can take. They each offer a study abroad trip in May. One class takes a trip to Ireland while the other travels to Japan. The class examines Irish identity from the early modern
examines Irish identity from the early modern through the modern period, and it also consists of a travel component where we go to Ireland for 10 days in May, places like Galway, Dublin, Belfast, Derry, and see sites like Inishmore, which is the Aran Islands, about the history and culture of Ireland and Northern Ireland.
Both of these trips are great ways to explore different cultures around the world and get out of your comfort zone. There are limited spots and they will fill up quickly, so apply as soon as possible. For more information, email Dr. Whalen and Dr. Sonlitter. They will provide an application form and a meeting time to further discuss about the trip and course. Still to come, a conversation on the annual Food and Wine Festival created to bring alumni together with the Siena community. Plus, chaos in Arrowhead as the Chiefs and Lions players shared a heated exchange as the clock ran out. More on that next. As the government shutdown remains prevalent, millions of federal workers still have yet to get paid. Workers such as TSA agents and FFA officials are one of the many to endure financial strain, resulting in many calling out sick. Staffing shortages are leading to flight delays, and many are concerned as Republicans and Democrats continue bipartisan disputes. Problems arise on finding potential solutions for the shutdown. Democrats join Minority Leader of the House Hakeem Jeffries in a presser at Capitol Hill to address bipartisan issues.
House Republicans shut the government down. Then they ran out of town. And for the last 3 weeks, they're nowhere to be found. What more can I say? You deserve better.
Republicans and Democrats continue to struggle in finding solutions to prevent citizens from living in financial uncertainty. However, the longer the House takes to reach a deal, citizens may experience continued issues like flight delays to continue as federal workers remain unpaid. On the way, I sat down with the Siena development team to discuss tomorrow's Festavino that will display the annual Food and Wine Festival. More on that next. Welcome back to SCTV Live at 7. Today, I'm joined by Greg and Brandon from the Development Center, and I hear you guys got an exciting event coming up tomorrow night.
Yes, we're so excited. Festavino, the annual Food and Wine Festival, is now less than a day away. We're so excited to host over 500 alumni and friends to come back onto campus for a Food and Wine Festival.
You say alumni and friends, so is this open to the public, or is it just alumni, students? How does that work?
Really marketed to alumni, friends of the college, community members, things like that. Yeah.
And I see you guys have all these different food trucks, vendors, all this kind of stuff. What was that process like, getting all these people to sign up? How's the sign-up process for maybe people interested in getting involved next year? How does that all work?
Yeah, so we've been working on the vendors, for over a year now. As soon as the event ends tomorrow, we'll be working on it on Friday for next year. We have 37 vendors, food, wine, and all kinds of alcohol. We kind of rotate them throughout the event space. So a couple of tables of beverages, then a couple of tables of food. And we have an incredible staff of Kate Frinton and Jenna Antonucci, who kind of spearheads the vendor selection with Kathy Palumbo. And then we all kind of get our hands in nitty-gritty stuff, hand-to-hand combat, and reach out to the vendors, let them know about the event, and secure them each year.
And I know this event is used to support not only Siena as a whole, but also the athletic department. Where does the funding for that go? Is there an admission cost? What should people expect if they're planning on going? Do they have to pay an entry fee, something like that?
Yeah, so we raise money through sponsorships. Most of the money that we get for this event comes from sponsorships from local companies, vendors, even individual alumni. We do sell tickets. They're $100 for most community members are young alumni. So our young alumni of the last decade can come for $75. They get a $25 discount. So we raise money there. Money goes towards mission giving. So it goes towards the Saints Alive Athletic Fund, and it also goes to the annual fund. So that's how the money is distributed. It's one of our biggest fundraisers of the year.
And so you guys mentioned, obviously wine is a big part of it, and alcohol in general is part of it. Do you have to be over the age of 21 to attend, or you can still attend if you're under 21, just obviously avoid the alcohol and stuff like that?
If you are under 21, we'll give you a nice bright green wristband so that the vendors are aware, so that you remember, and that but you still have access to the great food. Again, we have 17, 19 different food vendors that are coming in. For everything from barbecue and pasta and all sorts of good stuff.
So with this event, obviously you mentioned that their money is going back to the school and the athletics programs, but outside of just that aspect, what are your goals for this event? What do you hope that people who attend get out of the event as a whole?
Well, we have two brand new kind of featured pieces to the event this year. The Siena Beverage Institute is going to be at the event making a specialty cocktail, and we'll let all the attendees know how to actually make that recipe to bring home with them. And then, as we mentioned, it helps the student athletes that we have on campus. So there's a couple of teams that will be doing a guacamole contest, making their own guacamole on site in real time, and all the attendees get to try samples and kind of vote on the best tasting guacamole. So it's a huge fundraiser for us, but it really is meant to bring the community together, to show the Siena spirit, and to kind of kick off the school year.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for not only us in the development office, but also alumni and friends of the college to meet and reconnect at least once a year around food and beverage, which everyone likes to do. It's a Siena tradition. So it's really an opportunity for everyone to come together and meet. We get to see people we don't see very often at this event.
I noticed on the website there is an option to RSVP to the event, and with it being tomorrow night, for people maybe hearing about this for the first time, is this something where they can just walk in and pay for a ticket and get in, or is this something they have to RSVP for ahead of time?
Yeah, so you can pay for it at the moment when you walk in the door. If you would like, we prefer you to register early. Just helps us when it comes to name tags and things like that to prepare on our end. But we absolutely will accept admissions at the door.
And if people are looking for more information about the event, what's a good spot where they can read up and see if they want to attend the event and see what time they need to be there, stuff like that? Where can they find that?
Yeah, so they can go to siena.edu/festivino. They're going to see our presenting sponsors, Our Star Wine and Liquor, as well as Siena Fresh and the Order of Friars Minor of Our Lady of Guadalupe Province, as well as all the other honorary committee members. All the details and register at siena.edu/festivino.
So with this event, obviously you mentioned that their money is going back to the school and the athletics programs, but outside of just that aspect, what are your goals for this event? What do you hope that people who attend get out of the event as a whole?
Well, we have two brand new kind of featured pieces to the event this year. The Siena Beverage Institute is going to be at the event making a specialty cocktail, and we'll let all the attendees know how to actually make that recipe to bring home with them. And then, as we mentioned, it helps the student athletes that we have on campus. So there's a couple of teams that will be doing a guacamole contest, making their own guacamole on site in real time, and all the attendees get to try samples and kind of vote on the best tasting guacamole. So it's a huge fundraiser for us, but it really is meant to bring the community together, to show the Siena spirit, and to kind of kick off the school year.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for not only us in the development office, but also alumni and friends of the college to meet and reconnect at least once a year around food and beverage, which everyone likes to do. It's a Siena tradition. So it's really an opportunity for everyone to come together and meet. We get to see people we don't see very often at this event.
I noticed on the website there is an option to RSVP to the event, and with it being tomorrow night, for people maybe hearing about this for the first time, is this something where they can just walk in and pay for a ticket and get in, or is this something they have to RSVP for ahead of time?
Yeah, so you can pay for it at the moment when you walk in the door. If you would like, we prefer you to register early. Just helps us when it comes to name tags and things like that to prepare on our end. But we absolutely will accept admissions at the door.
And if people are looking for more information about the event, what's a good spot where they can read up and see if they want to attend the event and see what time they need to be there, stuff like that? Where can they find that?
Yeah, so they can go to siena.edu/festivino. They're going to see our presenting sponsors, Our Star Wine and Liquor, as well as Siena Fresh and the Order of Friars Minor of Our Lady of Guadalupe Province, as well as all the other honorary committee members. All the details and register at siena.edu/festivino.
Thank you very much, Greg and Brandon, for joining me today. Coming up on SCTV Live at 7, myself and Steve Jones will be covering this past week in sports. Stay with us. Welcome back to SCTV Live at 7. I'm your host, Noah Kime, joined with Steve Jones. We're here to recap this past weekend's sports.
It was a wild night in Kansas City where the Detroit Lions came to town and they got a clinic taught to them by the Kansas City Chiefs as the Chiefs won 30-17 in primetime, Noah.
That's right. Patrick Mahomes looked sharp and in control from the start, throwing for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns, plus a rushing touchdown of his own. It was a near-perfect performance. 0 turnovers and 0 penalties. A clean and disciplined game.
Meanwhile, the Lions started strong and even took an early lead in the first quarter, but they struggled to keep up. Jared Goff threw for a respectable 213 yards, but their offense couldn't find the end zone. In the second half, it was the Chiefs' defense that tightened the screws and changed this game, Noah.
And don't forget, the Kansas City Chiefs ground game was on point too. Isaiah Pacheco ran between the tackles, racking up over 80 yards, while the O-line gave Mahomes time to pick apart Detroit's secondary. The Chiefs are now back to 500 as the Lions drop their second game of the season, sitting at 4-2.
Despite the great game, it's what happened after the final whistle that has fans talking. Lions safety Brian Branch and Chiefs wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster got into a heated altercation. A brief scuffle broke out as players from both sides rushed in and coaches and officials got quickly between them. But it was an ugly end to what had been a high-energy matchup.
It's October, which means baseball playoffs is in full effect as the Mariners and Blue Jays kicked off the ALCS.
Toronto fans got a moment to roar early as George Springer blasted a leadoff home run on the first pitch of the game, giving the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead right out of the gates. But that was all they got.
But Seattle answered back. Bryce Miller, pitching in short rest, survived a tough first inning and settled in. And late inning damage came from Cal Raleigh's homer to tie it, and Jorge Polanco's RBI singles to seal the deal.
as the Mariners would win Game 1 3-1 and take a 1-0 series lead heading into Game 2 and then eventually to Seattle later this week. Indiana, Oregon, that was the matchup everybody talked about this weekend. And in a stunning road upset in Eugene, Oregon, number 7 Indiana tore down number 3 Oregon, winning 30-20 and snapping the Ducks Stadium dominance.
That's right. Quarterback Fernando Mendoza led the way with 215 passing yards, and his crucial fourth quarter touchdown to Elijah Sarrat gave the Hoosiers the lead for good.
On the ground, Roman Hemby delivered a pair of touchdown runs, anchoring the rush attack and keeping Oregon's defense honest.
Oregon's Dante Moore struggled. He threw for 186 yards and had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and was sacked 6 times as the Hoosiers' defense roared.
The turning moment came late. Brandon Finney intercepted Mendoza and returned it 35 yards to tie the game. But Mendoza responded quickly with his pass to Sarrat with 6:23 remaining.
This victory was historic. It snapped Oregon's 18-game home win streak and marked the first time in program history Indiana beat a top 5 team on the road. How about them Hoosiers?
How about them Hoosiers is right. And real quick, Noah, what's your pick for the LCS?
I'm going to go, I'm thinking a lot of people are going to disagree, but I'm going with the Mariners. I think the Mariners are I think people are underestimating them. Everyone saw how hot those Blue Jays were against the Yankees. I know a lot of you guys don't like, I know you guys are probably all rooting for the Mariners because they just saw what the Blue Jays did to the Yankees, but I'm sticking with the Mariners just like many of you guys at home.
How about the National League?
I got to go with the Dodgers. That roster is just way too stacked. You know, they got all the players in the world. You got from Freddie Freeman to Mookie Betts to Shohei Ohtani on the mound and in the batter's box. It's hard to beat.
Game 3, Blue Jays Mariners tonight on Fox. Tomorrow night, Game 3, Brewers Dodgers out in LA.
Thank you guys for joining us with sports. We'll send it back to you at the desk. TV live at 7. Follow us on Instagram at sienacollege.tv, or you can find us here on the Siena Communications Program YouTube page. Have a great night.